Denis, how encouraged were you with that performance out there?
Well, the first half was encouraging our defensive efforts, and the lads were starting strong and physical. We're still pretty young side, and those lads that you could tell they'd had some exposure last year, the lads that were out there. Thought Jordan Johnson was really good. Thought Danny Walker gave us a lot when he came on 9, and then Jordan fit in really well in the halves. Like I said, just playing Joy Mellor for 30 odd minutes was always part of it. I lost Joy Mellor last year in this game, and then getting back for 4 months. It's always not a nice thing to do. In these games you can come through without any injuries. Like I say, the wins are a real bonus. I think the 0 at half time was another bonus. And then when you look at our side, and a lot of lads that just finished in the 19s last year who we've kept on, and a couple of 19s out there, and a lad who was 17 2 days ago came on for the last 15 minutes. So it holds well with our youth policy and where we are as a group. I've got 16 blokes that probably would have made most of that team if we were playing in the league, sat in the stands, and all been down to Lloyd White's wedding, who was married yesterday.
Oh, is that why so many missed out?
Yeah, it was Lloyd White's wedding, but I always intended to be a mixture of what it's always been, which is the lads that have worked, been in from day one in pre-season, give them a chance to put the name on the wall, really. Like I said, I thought today, a lot of lads are going to make it really tough for me to pick this side. They stay fit, they stay healthy, and they keep training as hard as they have. Then it's going to be very, very tough selection pots that we have to put in place, which is where we always want to be.
I've got to ask you about Ollie Ashall as well. He just looked like he was going to do something with the ball every time they had it. How impressed were you with his performance tonight?
We've just been waiting on Ollie all year. It's taken him a year to recover from a really bad in training ground injury last year, his knee. The potential has always been there. I think he scored a try in this game last year. You'd only ever see someone like Ellie Allen score in his day. There's about 5 or 6 blocks hang on to when he pushes through and scores a try. It was on those kind of moments where he's just little and you don't think anybody will tackle him or break, and he does. He's sharp. He's got assets to his game that didn't come through today because of the nature of the game, but he's really strong under a high ball. He leaves the ground well. He's brave. He's competitive. And he's going to put pressure again. What we're after is, like I said, with Danny Walker, Jordan Johnson, both the Chapel boys, Sam Wilde, Tom Overson. We're looking for competition for places. We bring back Danny Craven into that half situation. You've got Ollie Ashall competing for a full-back position. Like I say, you look at bringing Keto in and competing for a centre and a wing, and Christian into competing in the centre. So we're looking to build a side which is competitive, and we've not got a lot of stars in there, but we've got some really good players that are now going to be competing, so they will get better. And that's where we want to be. This is 7 years we've run this competition since I've been in charge here, and that's the first time we've won. We've not come close even in the last, and I think that's by the fact that we've picked a really young side, and they've never been ready to play against a more seasoned side, even though they've got a majority of their side missing. There's still a lot of seasoned pros in that group.
2017 is obviously you probably want to experience again, shall I say? But from what we've seen tonight, is there an indication there that maybe the experiences of this year are going to really benefit you long term? The fact that these young lads.
Without sounding too cliche, it's one that you have to learn from your experiences. They say, I'm just fortunate that I've got a good board and the understanding of the situation. I get my job. It's like it happens in a lot of professional sports that you don't, and those kind of things. They knew where we were, the experience that we had, the players that we exposed to Super League are only going to make us stronger. And what we've got to do is keep doors open and create pathways for those players to see that there is a way forward. And we don't want to keep signing a lot of players and blocking their opportunities. So it's easy to dismiss the Chapel boys and Matt Whitley's, and on the back of a bad year, dismiss them because they're not good enough. But the kids, a year down the line with the pre-season into them, they're going to be that much more of a player. And I think that's the strength of this group and the strength of this club, is that we see the depth getting better, and then we can move ourselves forward on the back of it. And the experience last year's, it's an experience. First time in 6 years that we went backwards. I mean, it's not bad for a side that's only just come back into the league. And every single year we've got better up to that point. and they changed the rules halfway through when they took away licensing. That's another discussion again.
So is that the squad finalised, Dennis? You don't see any more new faces?
I've got, if we get membership raises and we can find some funds, and the boss has always said that money will go straight into recruitment. And we've had our fingers in pies. We've got people that are almost on the end of a hook, and like I say, I'm not fishing in a pool that's going to excite everybody, but there's good players and there's players out there that we'd look to improve this squad with. And that's my job is that. It always has been development and recruitment. Develop the players we've got and recruit players to make us better. And I'm in the marketplace, like I say, but it all depends on, and always has done, on our membership.
So have you had to play catch up a little bit as well, coming back from Australia and catching up with where all the players have been at? And
Not really, no. Like I say, it's an amazing world at the moment, Skype and FaceTime, and so I've had weekly meetings with the group, and we've talked about, and like I say, for the 6 weeks I went away, we'd worked quite hard for about 6 weeks before with the staff and what we wanted to put in place. They implemented, and then above, like I say, I've come back and I'm well ahead of where I thought they'd be, and that's testament to Cass, to Tim Holmes, to Big Talbot, to Fanny Cummins. That group has really worked hard. Like I said, I named O'Callaghan there as well. He's really contributed in this last 6 weeks leading up to me getting back a month ago. And they've worked really hard and put things in place that I've seen a massive shift in some attitudinal things. I'm really pleased with the group that I've got involved.